expressing of milk, we go now into storage. And there's a lot of debate about how long you can store milk in the fridge, in the freezer, in the open. So, first of all, what are the storage methods available?
Okay, so we've got, so for someone who has no fridge, we live in a hot environment. So we
although not at the moment.
Yeah, although not at the moment, but basically most of the year. Yeah, so we work with that. So because of that, we give around 4 hours when you don't have a fridge, 4 to 5 hours from when the milk would start spoiling. So one of the things that I do, and I found it very effective for people with no fridge, is you can look for a box, like a box, and then look for sand. Sand, the one for building, changa, and then look for charcoal and like crush the charcoal and mix it up, make a mixture. Charcoal and sand are very good at reducing temperatures. So pour some water on that mixture so that the charcoal gets a bit wet. And then make a hole in the box or whatever. And then get a sufuria, just a normal sufuria, put water in it. So it's like you've made
it's been like
enclosed with the sand and the whatever. Then I'll put your bottle of that you've expressed inside that water. So it will give you another extra 1 or 2 hours because it's really cool. Another one is, the old pots that we used to have for water, when they're placed against against the floor, they tend to really cool. So that's another way. Get a pot, the earthen pot, fill it with cold water, just normal water, leave it overnight, it will really cool. So in the morning, put your water there. It will stretch the time when the milk is not spoiled. For normal fridge, like if you want to use the milk within 24 hours, you can use the normal fridge, the where it's not frozen. And so in Kenya, I see moms really freezing milk and bulk. But over time, we've realized that because of our fluctuations, our electrical fluctuations, the milk might be defrosting and freezing again. Defrosting, these fluctuations, what they do is that they make the milk, and milk is just like animal milk. This defrosting and freezing again can be a problem. So for us, we're actually changing. For us, I know the international standard is 6 months, but we're actually saying for our milk is around 3-4 months. And even that, you've really stretched it because of the fluctuations. So I learned this from a colleague, and I thought it's a great way for moms to know if their fridge is working efficiently. So you take a bottle, just a normal bottle, fill it with water, then freeze it like this, like lying down, lying like that. So the water will freeze like that. Then once it's frozen, now place it up. So if it's defrosting, you'll start seeing some water, then it freezes. So you know this fridge, because that's what will happen to your milk. So that's how, if it's remaining like that, then you know your fridge is an efficient fridge, so you can stretch the time. But if you start noticing this water now sitting this other side, then you know that that's what will happen to your milk. So you cannot store your milk for that long period of time. So that's what we're saying, around 3-4 months for the frozen milk. And if now it's a deep freezer, then you can maybe stretch it to 6 months if it's a deep freezer. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that's a really interesting idea. What about ice packs? Do they help?
Yes, they do, especially for you who is pumping in the office and you might not have a fridge. So carrying ice packs helps to keep the milk cool. But what I encourage moms is that milk that you've expressed in the office and you put in ice packs, when you go home, don't freeze it. Let it be what your baby will use the following day. So you come and put it in the normal fridge and then let the baby take that the next day. So ice packs are great because they keep the milk fresher for longer. Yeah.
Now, what about mothers? Like you had mentioned about with pot or even the sufuria with the sand, and so these are for mothers who don't have a fridge. But then, more often than not, you find that they still need to work the normal hours.
Yes.
So they'll probably be out of the house for a much longer period.
And that's why we are buying time with this with this, with this, because they give you 6, 7, even 8 hours if it's really cool. So you see that at least it will give the mother time to get home to be able to breastfeed the baby. Yeah, so it works actually. From several moms who say, wow, it actually keeps even their own food. They realize their food stays fresher when they use, so they're using it for other things as well.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, now maybe to end us off, we could talk, there is different kinds of storage methods. And there's the glass, there's the plastic, the plastic bottles that are there, there's the glass containers that are there. Is there a preference?
Plastic, maybe I'll use this. So this is bisphenol A free, so BPA free. So if you're using plastic, you have to make sure that it is BPA free, because it means the plastic will leach into the milk and it will slowly poison your baby. So when you get plastics, even bottles, most of them you'll find that that's what they're written. It's written and it's safe for the baby. Glass is always great because then there's no plastic that's gonna go into it. Or you can use the plastic bags, the breastfeeding plastic bags that are safe for storage of milk.
Are they still allowed with the ban of?
We are in conversations. Never, because they are a useful tool for mothers, and so it's one of the things that are under discussion. Yeah, with NEMA.
Alright,
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Esther, for being here, and thank you for all the great advice. If you are looking to purchase a breast pump, we do have them in our shop, both the manual and the electric, and they are BPA free. So you could always get into our shop and then you'll find some information there, or you could get in touch with us. If you do have any questions on breastfeeding or anything lactation, basically, do leave it in the comment section and Esther will be there to answer. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.